Hello and a very warm welcome to this session today. We are very excited to bring to you another session, another finance webinar. We've been doing this series every Saturday featuring an expert and thought leader in the space of finance, taxation, investments, and all things money. In today's session, we learn how to maximize our rewards on credit cards. We have Ajay Awtaney, who will be going beyond the basics and unveil the hidden rewards of owning a credit card. Ajay Awtaney is the founder and editor of Live from a Lounge, a pioneering news platform that publishes everything about credit cards, aviation, and loyalty programs for the global Indian. He has been featured by the BBC, USA Today, and Conde Nast Traveler, amongst others. Please post your questions for Ajay in the chat section. We will be doing a Q&A towards the end of the session today. With that, over to you, Ajay.
Well, thank you, Ankita. Let's take this on. Just give me a second while I set up my screen for you guys. Good evening, everyone. Very excited to be here today. And like Ankita said, I'm Ajay Awtaney. I run a website called livefromalounge.com where it basically practically started out in a airport lounge where I used to travel a lot. And unfortunately, it's not so much over the past few weeks, but I'm hoping it will come back soon. One of the key learnings I've had over the past 10 years or so that I've been running my website and being very deeply interested in credit cards has been the fact that most people look at credit cards as a means to an end. You know, you're out at a restaurant, you want to pay, you use a credit card. You are out at buying movie tickets, you use a credit card. But most people don't look at the quality of the credit cards that they use. You know, most probably you've just got a credit card with your first salary slip, or you open a new bank account and the salesman pitched you a credit card. What we want to do today is talk a little bit about how the choices that you make in terms of how you bring up credit cards in your portfolio, and how your credit cards can basically help you monetize these and get exceptional rewards out of your credit cards. You know, not the 2 paise, 5 paise, 7 paise, 10 paise, but hopefully much more. And that's the end game of this session today. So we basically want to call it make your credit cards 10x more rewarding. And we'll talk about a few things, a few experiences, and at the end of it, take questions. And let's get started. Now, what can a credit card do for you? I think let's take it a step back. The first thing is what do we do with our credit cards? What do we already covered that part, you know, we use it as a payment mode. We go and we purchase things with it. At the end of the month, we settle up bill in full, and that's it. That's the transaction. It's a way where we have basically used the money, the extended resources that have been provided to us by various banks to use and settle bills, and then in one go settle that bill. Where most consideration is not given is how this piece of plastic that is given to us is going to be able to help us get a lot more out of our rewards. Now, where did credit card rewards come from? You know, remember, when you're paying with a debit card or with a credit card, you're basically riding a network, a Visa network, a Master network, an American Express network, or what have you. And there is a fee that is charged at every level for you to be able to, you know, make the transaction. So, you know, let's say I am using an HDFC Bank Visa credit card to pay a bank to pay, let's say, at a restaurant, which banks with ICICI Bank. So HDFC Bank credit card will be used to ride on the Visa server. There'll be a fee charged by HDFC Bank, by Visa, and there'll be a fee charged by ICICI Bank on your side. And they will split it amongst themselves, but you will get a consolidated amount on your bill. Now, there is a part of that money, that exchange that is happening, which some banks started to use to reward their customers back in the day, because otherwise there was no differentiation between directly paying from your bank account and having the ability to pay for a credit period. So credit cards introduced reward points, and these come in many, many different forms. We'll talk about that. But first, here's the fantasy land I want to take you in. If you're going to use these right, your credit cards are going to be able to help you travel around the globe in luxury on a budget. How do you say that will happen? Credit card rewards can allow you to fly premium classes for the price of economy or less. I mean, imagine there's this picture I've put up here of an Etihad Apartments first class seat. This ticket back in the day used to cost $16,000 one way. But when you use the reward points, you could actually travel with this just for, by transferring your points and everything. I remember booking this seat just for $40. Okay, and this is something that had it had a bed, it had a couch, it had a shower in the air. So basically, that's the highest potential you can actually use for your reward points. You can serve luxury hotels at a fraction of the regular price. How does this happen? There are two ways you can do this. One way is obviously by directly using your reward points for cash, and another way is you start using hotel loyalty programs, something that we will talk about in the future in the coming slide. That's another way where, let's say you have this $1,400 a night hotel in the Maldives. Everyone's going to the Maldives now. But you can just spend 30,000 points at this hotel for a stay, which gives you the same room, same benefits, and hence it becomes much, much cheaper for you to stay at a hotel like that with your points rather than with cash. So, and then, there are many credit card reward points that power this. And what we aim to know is which ones, what kind of benefits can we get. That's something that we want to find out about today. And the end game then is, there's outsized value. So you earn for less and you redeem for more. That is the way you will be able to drive this 10x value or 100x value that we want to talk to you about how you can supercharge your credit cards. Now, what are the kind of credit cards? I think there's not much consideration given to this question, but there are various different kinds of credit cards, and different credit cards will, different kinds of credit cards that you will choose will give you a different value in terms of how much reward points it will be able to give you. So there are 5 or 6 of these kinds. Let's go over them. I'll give you examples in the next one. So basically, a cashback or a money back card is simple. On every transaction, it is going to give you a certain percentage, and it will basically be giving you straight up cashback. So there is no way you have any leverage in terms of converting this into anything else. Let's use the example of and the most popular one, the Amazon Pay ICICI Bank card. Basically, if you're an Amazon Prime member and using this card on Amazon, gives you a 5% in terms of Amazon money. Now you can go ahead and use this money to pay for Amazon purchases or bills on Amazon, but largely that's the best you can do. You can't use these for reward points. Now, the other kind of credit cards, reward point credit cards. Reward point credit cards, reward points is a very large word, okay? And I think one of the things that one needs to establish over your use of credit cards is which reward point matters how much to you. There are many kind of reward points. For instance, a Regalia, HDFC Regalia reward point is not the same as an HDFC Infinia reward point, or an Axis Bank Edge reward point is not the same as a Yes Bank reward point. Yes.
Really sorry to interrupt, but some people are saying that the voice is not very clear and loud.
Okay, is it better?
1 second. Could we try without the Bluetooth?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Give me a sec.
No, I think your Bluetooth earphones are still connected. Can't hear you.
No, they're gone. So we're directly on the microphone of the laptop. Let's try this, otherwise we'll go back to that, okay?
Yeah, let's try this.
Okay, guys, so we were talking about reward points. And when we were talking about reward points, basically one of the things I wanted to bring to your notice is reward points is not all the same. You know, every bank calls their points reward points. It does not mean it's the same value, okay? So I typically use the term, the reference term of the dollar to explain the concept of reward points. Think of it as there is a Singapore dollar, it buys you worth 50 rupees. There's the US dollar, which buys you worth 75 rupees. There's the Hong Kong dollar, which buys you perhaps worth 20, 25 rupees, whatever it buys you worth. So these are all dollars, but these are all different kind of dollars. So they're all reward points similarly, but you have to establish that each reward point value is different. So when you're going to buy, when you're going to accumulate these Axis Bank Edge reward points, for example, they give you 20 paisa value. When you accumulate HDFC Infinia points, they're going to give you a 1 rupee value. Okay, so there are different kind of reward points that are given by different credit cards. How they establish this monetary value is how their management teams run the card. Then a very interesting credit card, which is where a lot of value exists, is co-branded credit cards. Now, co-branded credit cards is where a guy, let's say a loyalty program, will shake hands with the bank and they will both offer you benefits on a credit card. Okay, now there are all these Flipkart credit cards, there are these Google Pay credit cards, but the co-branded credit cards that will give you the most amount of value will largely come from the travel segment. Okay, so let's say there is an Axis Bank or a SBI card alliance which is going on with Club Vistara right now. These are the credit cards that will give you benefits when you fly Vistara as well. Okay, then there are these credit cards that Air India runs with SBI card, Etihad runs with SBI card. There are various different kind of co-branded credit cards, but the ones that will give you the most benefits are the ones that will come in the travel segment. Then there are other kind of travel credit cards per se. Okay, now what do I mean by with a travel credit card? These are credit cards which will basically give you benefits totally in the travel segment. Okay, the perks they will offer, the benefits they will offer, they will all be limited to the segment of travel. To give you two examples, For example, American Express has something called the Platinum Travel Card, where all the perks that you earn along the way will be towards be able to buy free air tickets, will be able to buy other products like um, hotel stays and so on and so forth. Then there will be other travel cards like City Premier Miles, where you will be able to buy free air tickets and a lot of free hotel rooms. But largely, you can use these cards for other tertiary purchases with your reward points, but the value will not be the same as when you buy travel with these products. Then there are, as we go along, there are higher end cards. These are more expensive cards, and these tend to offer the best of the bunch in terms of perks, in terms of purchases, in terms of offers, in terms of everything. I tend to call them what I call them is lifestyle cards because these are not just cards that are packaging one category. These are cards which are packaging multiple categories. You know, when you are paying 10,000, 20,000 rupee, or maybe even 70,000 rupee annual fee, you are basically looking for a card which is very different from a card where you are paying 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 rupee annual fee. You are basically looking for a card which gives you benefits on dining. You're looking for a card which gives you benefits on travel and other sorts of associate benefits. So I tend to call them lifestyle cards, and they give you a lot of perks across the board. And we will talk about that in the next slide. And then there is one final kind of credit card, not very rewarding, but it exists. It's the corporate credit card, which I guess a lot of people get handed out by their from their companies. Now, a corporate credit card does not give you too much reward, but a corporate credit card allows your organization to organize all the spends and be able to kind of um, archive all the spend very nicely and very neatly and do a one-stop settlement of all the bills you may be incurring on the behalf of your company. So these are the major kind of credit cards that exist. Uh, just to give you an example, we took the slate of Citibank credit cards and to see how does the whole slate of various credit cards work. Uh, like you can see, Citi has a cashback credit card. Now, what's important, I'm not going to read out the whole slide to you, but basically, going left to right, what you will see is that uh, each of these cards has its limitation. The cashback, the reward, the co-branded cards, these are all cards which typically Citibank tends to hand out for free. Okay. On the other hand, the travel card, which is Premier Miles, and then on top of that, Prestige is a credit card that Citibank charges a lot of money for. And if you look at the last slide, which is what I tend to call return on spend, you will see that the rewards are appropriate to the amount of money you're spending. So basically, there are a lot of caps on the free cards. You're not basically getting a lot of benefits. But when you come to the cards where a lot of money is being paid out by you, a fee is being paid out, um, the card company is going to take good care of you, hopefully, and kind of give you better benefits, uncapped benefits. So that brings us to the point about free versus paid credit cards. I was talking 20 minutes back about the fact that your employer, your your first bank might have just handed you out a card, and you might have just picked up a card, um, and you use it as a payment mode. And I see this, every time at a shopping till where people just bring out some sort of a credit card. and oblivious to the fact that how many rewards they're leaving out on the table. So since many credit cards are offered free, they're not able to give you rewards. Or they're going to give you rewards which are very pesky rewards, not very great rewards. Others, on the other hand, when they start charging you an annual fee, they're able to give you better rewards. So why does this differentiation happen? And this differentiation happens for a very simple reason, that when you're paying a fee, basically the credit card company is able to differentiate between people who are just out there for a free credit line versus people, this is my theory, okay, versus people who are really serious about minting their rewards and hence want the perks. So on a free card, you will perhaps get some cash back, you get some rewards. I mean, to give you an example, one of the oldest cards in the industry that's still being issued, something called the ICICI Bank Platinum Card. It's a black color card. I'm sure a lot of you still see it out there in the market. But if you look at the rewards, zilch, nothing, you know. Once you start paying for your credit cards, and I pay for a lot of good credit cards, you get benefits that are like none else. You know, you get good reward points. Good reward points means, you know, you're actually able to buy something of value out of them rather than a toaster or, or a clock for your wall. You're able to actually use these points at will for flight tickets. I know one of the most aspirational category right now these days is travel, and hence all the credit card companies have started to move their reward potentials to flights, to hotels. You're able to get all of that with a good paid card. You're gonna be able to get it with a free card as well. But if you're gonna spend, let's say, 100 rupees on a paid card to get it, you might be spending 1,000 rupees on a free card to get it. These are not, I mean, these are just approximations. So don't go by the exact numbers, okay? Then you're going to get hotel stays, you're going to get airport visits. I think everyone wants lounge access at the airport these days. In the times of pandemic, nobody wants to really be sitting out there in the general public waiting area. So airport lounges have become very important, and not every credit card gives it to you. So you have the choice of paying 700 rupees or 1,000 rupees every time you are out there for an airport lounge, or you can use your credit card benefits to be able to get it free. Now, credit card rewards. Credit card rewards are really the bedrock of free benefits. And let's talk about what are the kind of benefits you can get out of this. There are basically four kinds of credit card reward points I want you guys to know about. The first is airline miles. What are airline miles? Airline miles are basically air miles that you anyways earn from, you know, when you're flying an airline, you're earning airline miles. So let's say when you're flying Air India, you earn Air India miles. When you're flying Lufthansa, you earn miles and more miles. When you're flying VISTARA, you earn Club VISTARA miles, so on and so forth. These are, why are these useful for us in terms of credit card reward points? Because you're not going to be on a plane every day, okay? You're not going to be flying 5,000 miles or 300 miles or 800 miles every day. It's humanly impossible. But when you're going to pick up a credit card that allows you to earn air miles, you're spending money every day, right? You're paying a phone bill, you may be paying for that dinner, you might just be ordering in food, or so on and so forth. You're spending money every day. And hence, you're able to earn air miles sitting at your home every day. And these air miles can then be used. Let's say you want to plan a trip to the US 1 year down the line. Tickets are going for economy class tickets, go for 1 lakh rupees these days because of the paucity of flights. But you can use your air miles to get the same ticket maybe for 90,000 miles and let's say 10,000 rupees cash towards taxes. You can do that with air miles. And you can earn those air miles sitting at home. Now, similarly, hotel points are another kind of credit card reward points. Hotel points in India are not directly earnable at this point of time. There's no credit card that directly allows you to earn hotel points, but there are credit cards from Citi and there are credit cards from American Express, which allow you to transfer to a hotel company. Why is this beneficial? Again, you will ask. While it's very beneficial when, let's say, a hotel room costs you 30,000 rupees a night in cash, and you're able to get it for 20,000 free points. So your hotel room, you're getting the same room, right? You're getting, but you're not paying cash for it anymore. So that turbocharges your rewards. A third kind of credit card reward point, fixed value points. Fixed value points is when we are talking stuff like the HDFC Bank Infinia program. You're able to use 1 rupee a point with Diners Club Black or with Infinia to book your air tickets, to book your hotel rooms, and in many other cases, you can use it for 1 rupee. So these are fixed value reward points. You can't change the value at this point. Okay. This is, and on the other hand, when you're using Yes Bank reward points, you can't use them for more than 25 paise a point. So these are fixed value reward points. You can't change the value. However, the fourth kind is the most interesting and most important kind for us. It's transferable points. What is transferable currency? Now, transferable points mean that some banks have created methods for you where you can, let's say you have an Infinia point, you can use an Infinia point for 1 rupee, or you can use an Infinia point by transferring it to Singapore Airlines as 1 air mile, or you can transfer it to Vistara for 1 air mile. Okay. Now, when you're using it for 1 rupee in cash, it's a fixed value point. But let's say you wanted to fly a Bombay Delhi ticket where the ticket economy class is going for 10,000 rupees, but you were able to buy it for using your Vistara points for 5,000 points and 400 rupees in cash. Now, the value of the same point is over 2 rupees a point. So when you're going to open your mind to transferable points, that's the best kind of value you'll be able to get out of your points, because there will be so many options in the case of many banks like American Express, HDFC Bank, Citi, and some others, that these are the best kind of reward points that you will ever want to accumulate, and perhaps not go back to the lower end of the reward points game. Now, in line with the kind of points we have, there is also different kind of credit card incentive that you can get. Co-branded cards, like I mentioned earlier, there is Axis tied up with Vistara. There's SBI Bank tied up with Vistara. All these banks, what these guys are trying to do is they're tying up with specific loyalty program to give you a specific co-branded card benefit. So for instance, if you fly a lot on Vistara, you're going to be able to get extra bags, you're going to be able to get priority check-in, those kind of things. And you get this benefit because you have this plastic, such as the Axis Vistara credit card, and the only catch here is you can only earn co-branded partner miles. So if you've taken up an Axis Vistara and an SBI Vistara credit card, it's not like you will get another currency another reward point, which you can transfer to Vistara. Every time you swipe your card, you're basically earning Vistara miles. Okay. Then there are these fixed points that we talked about. You know, the beauty of fixed points is they will buy you things that no other, that you want to buy. So if you want to buy, let's say, you're accumulating Infinia points or Diners Club points or Premier Miles, you can use it to buy SBI tickets, SpiceJet tickets. You can use it to buy a room at the Taj. You can use it to buy a room at Marriott, whatever hotel, whatever chain. And you don't have to be kind of boxed by that co-branded thing. So let's say if Vistara does not fly Delhi Vishakhapatnam, you can use your points to fly with another airline. That's the beauty of a fixed points only card. And then the lifestyle points with transferable points. These are cards like City Prestige, these are cards like American Express Platinum, and so on and so forth, where basically you're earning points. The value of the point per se, as the bank will tell you, is maybe 25 paisa or 45 paisa or 1 rupee. But like we explained to you earlier, when you're going to start transferring these points to other to other loyalty programs, you will be able to get massive, massive value out of these, which is much better than when you get just with, having that at 25 paisa or 1 rupee or whatever is the value. So um, bottom line here is, now one of the things is you can't just play around. If you really, really want to turbocharge your rewards, you will usually want to have all these kind of cards in your wallet, not just one simple card. And we will come to how you can maximize them in a bit. Now, here are some ground rules of credit card rewards. And these are not rules that were written in a book or something. These are my rules. You can have your own. And this is just my experience I'm sharing with you over the past many years that I have been using credit cards successfully to mint rewards. First and foremost, Rome wasn't built in a day. So be patient and take a long-term view. I frequently look at miles, credit card points as money. I don't look at it as something that just came my way by chance. So where do you want to go? What do you want to do with your credit card points? You need to basically take a long-term view, and you need to build your bank, your how do you call it? Just like you guys have SIPs perhaps for your wealth, you need to create a portfolio of points where you can, at a later point of time, let's say, oh, I have an emergency trip to go to Turkey. Oh, let me pull out some, let's say, for example, City Prestige rewards, transfer it to Turkish Miles and More, and get me that free ticket rather than spending whatever amount of money I want to spend. Or let's say the pandemic is over, I really want to travel now. I want to take my wife to the US. Let's pull out some points and, make that trip happen. So the point is, take in all kinds of points. Okay. Don't just be like, oh, I'm just going to accumulate Vistara, or I'm just going to be accumulating American Express membership rewards and other points and so on and so forth. You need to have a portfolio of points, because not one kind of points will not be able to take you around the world. Okay. If travel is your goal, you will need to spread it out. Be flexible. I have, over the years, been dissed a lot about how reward programs are just, flaky. Reward points and reward programs have their rules. You need to be a little bit detail oriented. You know, um, it's not like you just it's not simple. Read the rules, and once you have that rules wrapped around your head, you will be able to um, get your rewards easy. When I say being flexible, it means it is not a guarantee that if you wanted to fly between, for example, Bangalore and Delhi tomorrow morning in the 7 a.m. flight, there will be an open seat available for you. You might have to take the 8 a.m. You might have to take the 6 a.m. It's not like the rules of reward points are the rules of cash. You will get there, but you need to be a little bit flexible in your approach. And when you're going to be flexible in your approach, let's say instead of spending 16,000 rupees, you just spent 8,000 points and you saved a boatload of money getting to where you wanted to go. Take calculated risks. You know, many times there will be uh, promotions that will happen, promotions that might look too good to be true. So do your analysis, um, and if you deem fit, uh, kind of go ahead and um, use those promotions. One of the biggest examples of this is the 10x rewards promotion that HDFC Bank gives you all the time. This has been a promotion that's been running, I think, for more than 6 years. HDFC Bank's been giving 10x reward points, which basically means on their top end cards, you're able to get 33% cash back. You know, uh, it's something that works very well on an ongoing basis. Sometimes the bank fumbles and you have to make calls to get your points. But the bottom line is that it's a great promotion that the bank has managed to survive for 6 years. And I think when you're looking to buy a high value item or something, and if you have an HDFC credit card, maybe it's a great idea to look at HDFC Bank and use these to kind of turbocharge your rewards along the way. Diversify, not too much. Um, what do I mean by this? Now, I know of people who, over the years, gone ahead and created 500 different kind of credit card reward points and loyalty reward points accounts and so on and so forth. And now they have these 50, 100, 500, like, you know, they've created these very small puddles of reward points which tend to expire. So um, don't do that, because with credit card rewards, again, if you wanted to get anything of value, it needs to be able to scale. So pick 2, 3, 4 favorite credit cards. Um, Favorite, I mean cards that help you get where you want to go, and then use them frequently. Okay. So coming to the point that we were discussing, pick credit cards to get to your goal. Different people will want different things from their credit cards. Okay. And you need to pick a credit card or a set of credit cards that will help you get to your goal. Think of it in these lines. Do you want a sign up bonus? For example, you get a small sign up bonus when you sign up for a Citi card. You get a sign up bonus when you sign up for an Amex card. You get a sign up bonus when you get from sign up for Axis or an HDFC card. See if you want that kind of a reward, sign up bonus. A sign up bonus is an instant way to top up your rewards. Okay. Do you want airline perks? If you want airline perks, you should definitely explore an airline co-branded credit card. Do you want flexible points? Look at the lifestyle credit cards. They're going to be more expensive, but in the long run, they will kind of get you better benefits. Do you want free flights? Again, there are so many credit cards out there offering you free flights. All sorts of fixed value cards, Intermiles credit cards, and what have you. I mean, co-branded credit cards. Everyone's giving you a free flight out there these days. So, which one fits your description? Which one fits your budget? Something you want to see. Or do you just want some plain cashback? You don't want to be in this whole world of, oh, एक रुपए का 3 रुपया कैसे करना है? And you just are happy कि every time you buy something, you're getting a 3% flat out cashback. That's also cool, but you need to know that. Okay. One of the important things people tend to miss out, and something I want to reinstate with you, you need to study which categories do you spend a lot of money in. Okay. Do you spend a lot of money buying air travel? Do you spend a lot of money on online shopping? Do you spend a lot of money on dining out? Trust me, this is a personal example. A friend of mine who worked in business development, and his practical job was to take people out for meetings and wine and dine them. He did not know that a certain credit card from HDFC Bank gave him 2x points for dining every day. So he would pull out some other credit card, pay the bill, obviously reimbursable by his company eventually, but he was missing on 2x points every day for a year in this job because he did not realize that this certain credit card that he had was giving him dining rewards every day. One of the other questions, which kind of, how much inconvenience are you willing to go through for your rewards? So uh, I'm the kind of guy, see, it's a rule of thumb that an American Express or a diners will perhaps give you more rewards as compared to a Master or Visa. And that's purely because of the fact that there's more fee involved in these products. So a lot of times, um, the question will be, matlab, you're standing to settle a bill, and the guy will say, sir, I don't have the Amex machine. Can you give me a MasterCard? Now, me being me, I will go on and I'll say, oh, let's go to the sixth, um, you know, let's go where the Amex is or where the Diners Club machine is as compared to, so are you going to have the patience of 5 more minutes to insist on paying via your preferred mode if it is available? Or are you just going to say, hey, take the Visa, I'm happy, bye bye? And then one of the most um, interesting questions, but not very often answered, how much fee are you willing to pay? Everybody has a budget. Somebody may be happy just paying 5,000. Some people may be happy paying 50,000. You need to see what fits your bill and then kind of fork out money accordingly in terms of getting the best credit cards and rewards for you there. And once you've done this, once you have a portfolio of credit cards that fits the categories you spend, I want you to then put your everyday spending on these cards. One of the best places to turbocharge your rewards. Each of these big banks, at least, run some sort of a portal. American Express has something called Reward Multiplier. HDFC Bank has something called Smart Buy. Yes Bank has something called Yes Card. When you're going to go through these portals, um, all the usual merchants will be there, like the Amazons of the world, the Flipkarts of the world, and maybe another 30, 50 other merchants. You will be able to earn more points when you're going to go through these portals as compared to directly heading to, let's say, Amazon to make your next purchase. Travel purchase will give, there will be like, let's say if you have an HDFC card or a Premier Miles card, use those for travel. These are just examples. Huh? International spend. Amex and Citi tend to give you, Amex Plat and Citi Prestige tend to give you the best points on international spend. So if you have those cards, use those for international spends. Dining. Diners Club Black gives you 2x points on the weekend, and Infinia gives you 2x points all week long on dining at independent outlets, mind you. So let's say if you're in a smokehouse deli catching up on lunch, pay with that card. The thing here is you need to internalize which credit card do you have, which works in which category, okay? And then make sure that when you're paying, you need to have the right card out there at that point of time. And that is the most basic rule of turbocharging your rewards. You've earned all those points now, okay? So now you have to spend them. Again, this is just a recap of what I mentioned earlier. Different credit card rewards have different point values. So each point is not built the same. You must look at the value of each point. You know, Premier Miles, 45 paisa, Diners Black is 1 rupee, Prestige point on paper is 1 rupee. But do you know when you transfer a Prestige point, you can earn 4 air miles out of 1 Prestige point, which basically means you can make so much more when you choose to use that point for travel redemption as compared to using it just for using it as a plain cashback. Now, some of the key banks that allow you transfers are American Express, Citibank, HDFC Bank. Okay, they have different transfer partners. Go out, explore, but in most cases, you will see that when you are able to transfer points, you're going to get a much better value as compared to using the points for, let's say, 1 rupee or a 50 paisa or a 25 paisa cash value. Now, I'm going to just take 2 more minutes before we get into questions to show you the power of your points. The 3 examples I have for you here of what your points can do for you. This is about a trip I think I took 3 years back. Phuket was a hot destination at that point in time. And there's no airline. I think the only direct airline that you could fly from Mumbai to Phuket was Go Air at that point in time. And for a family of 2, we did not want to be spending money. And Go Air does not have transferable currency. Okay, so what did we do? We used 50,000 Diners Club points to book Go Air tickets for 2 people between Bombay, Phuket, Bombay. 1 rupee a point, 0 cash out of pocket. A transferable currency. And this is where things really get interesting, okay? Now, me and my wife, we went to Tokyo in 2019. We stayed at one of the best hotels in Tokyo. The cash bill, had I paid cash for that hotel room, would have been 4 lakh rupees. But we used American Express, allows us to transfer points to Marriott Bonvoy. We transferred, like you can see here, 240 Marriott Bonvoy points and 240,000 membership award points became 240,000 Marriott Bonvoy points. And we used those points to stay 5 nights. Now, there is a discrepancy here. Earlier, it used to cost 240,000 points. Now it costs 340,000 points. Hence, the screenshot you will see and what you're seeing here is different. But even the cash value rupees, I was, you're staying at the best hotel in Tokyo and paying 0 rupees out of pocket for it, just because I use my credit card points. And then the final, co-branded credit cards. Now, Vistara has been very liberal in the market. You can actually go around shop for their co-branded cards, and you can get free tickets every time you spend. You can get a free business class ticket every time you spend 2.5 lakh rupees on one of these tickets. So my last time I used this ticket was in January 2021 when I traveled between Delhi and Bombay. For a 40,000 rupee ticket, I only paid 400-ish, 500-ish rupees. That was the taxes on the ticket. And that purely came because I have been putting spend on my Access Vistara credit card. So you can do a lot of things. You can combine a lot of things. You can transfer a lot of points and overall make a vacation out of it. It's not just that you can buy simple travel. You can actually club it all together, make a vacation out of the whole thing as well. And that is how, if you are going to be able to, basically collect all the loyalty points that are being given out to you, each credit card, each bank is giving you out loyalty points. As long as you can memorize and as long as you can remember which credit card to use where, you can take in more points than just the simplistic approach of using one credit card. Okay? And then the best way to get the most value out of them is travel. So when you want to travel, use these points to travel, because otherwise they'll just give you the same 1%, 2% value. But when you're going to use your credit card points to travel, you will get an aspirational value like nothing else. And with that, let's get into questions, guys. Okay. Somebody asked the question here, is no cost EMI a good thing? See, a no cost EMI is basically a perk that banks tend to build up so that you can consume more. Okay, it comes to you along with specific limitations. It's got nothing to do with the reward point structure. So if there is a purchase where you get a no cost EMI and you want to split up your purchase into maybe 3 months or 6 months, I don't see a harm doing it. But ideally, I like to wipe out my bills at the end of the month. So it's a personal choice. Now, somebody else asked about, Iptarup asks about, while paying using credit card, should one use a card that gives cashback or one that gives points? Like I hope I have displayed adequately today, when you are going to be using credit cards which give you points, good quality points, it's going to be much better as compared to getting a cashback. Because a cashback value is not, you're never going to be able to get outsized value out of cashbacks. But when you're going to be using your points, and when you're going to be using them smartly, you will be able to get an outsized value out of these points. Let's go to the next question. Which card is best for online shopping like Amazon and Flipkart? Now, the best card for online shopping, Uh, I think if you have an HDFC Infinia or an HDFC Diners Club Black, they're the best cards for Amazon and Flipkart shopping, purely because they have something called the Smart Buy. And Smart Buy is where you go on a certain website, Smart Buy, you can Google for it, HDFC Smart Buy. You go there, you link your card details there. And when you're going to hop onto Flipkart or Amazon via Smart Buy, at least with Amazon, you're going to get the ability to earn 5x rewards, which means 16.66% cash back directly. Okay, and with Flipkart, you're going to get 3x rewards, which means 9% of the money. Let's say you're spending 100 rupees, you're getting 9 rupees straight back as reward points. Which is the best card for hotel stay payments? I think it purely depends on how you pay for your hotel stays. If you are somebody who uses an online travel agency to book hotels, maybe the best idea is to book, then any card can help you. Like, again, Smart Buy Portal is a great place to pay for your hotel rooms. But if you're somebody who like pays for hotel rooms after your stay, then um, if there is any offer going on with your credit card or something, check it out. For instance, Amex tends to have a lot of offers with some of the top chains like Hilton and Marriott. If you're talking or Taj, you might just get a good cash back at the end of your stay as well. Now, what is the best way to get points on insurance premiums? Insurance premiums is a very specific segment where most credit card companies have stopped giving you reward points because there's no margin for them uh, in the process. But I think HDFC Bank does a good job, at least for personal insurance payments. You are able to get anywhere between, I think, 3,000 to 5,000 points per day, depending on the card you have. Okay, so for instance, Infinia gives you up to 5,000 points per day, and that means that at least with personal insurance payments, as long as you're directly paying to the insurance provider, not via a Paytm or an aggregator, you're going to be able to earn points that will get you, like, enough points with respect to uh, your insurance payments. So I think those are the questions I have so far. I'm waiting, obviously, if there are more questions, happy to answer. All right. There's a question about how safe is saving card details in online shopping website as saved card details. Any precautions to be taken? I think this question is going to go away very soon. Uh, RBI is working on some sort of new requirements at this point of time, which will take care of these safeguards for you. So, but it's not a bad deal. I mean, I typically tend to have most of my usually used websites. I have at least one or two credit cards saved there. The beauty of credit cards is, always remember, you have something called the chargeback feature. So unfortunately, if heavens forbid, there is a transaction that you did not authorize, and as long as you can prove it, the onus is on the credit card company to reverse the transaction for you. So don't worry about that. You will be safe, and you will, at best, you will need to get a new credit card plastic issued, which I don't think is a problem these days. Coming to a question from Devdeep Bhattacharji, how to get maximum value for American Express membership rewards. Uh, so the maximum value, see, uh, the maximum value for American Express membership rewards largely comes out of its transfer program. When you're going to be using American Express points um, just as cash to do use for statement credit or something, you're going to be able to get 25 paisa value per point. And that's the standard value across all cards. So it does not differentiate between a platinum card or a membership reward cards. But when you're going to be able to transfer your points, that's where some unique value comes out. I'll give you an example. Marriott rewards, we've already talked about that. I have a lot of examples where I have transferred points to Marriott from membership rewards over the year. Um, so, but basically hotel stays and air travel, where you are able to, let's say, take your Marriott points or Hilton points and use them for hotel stays where, your hotel stay, when you're going to be redeeming a free night, comes at a certain cost. Okay, it'll be maybe 50,000 points, it'll be maybe 10,000 points. There's a whole chart on the Marriott website that you can refer to. Cash, it's uncapped. Okay, so a same hotel which could be costing you 10,000 rupees during lean season can be costing you 70,000 rupees during peak season. But if you're going to use reward points, you're going to get it for maybe 15,000, 20,000 points. And hence, that's the best way to maximize the value out of your membership reward points. So try it out, reach out to me. If there's questions, happy to answer on that later. Can you briefly explain RBI ban on new issuance of Amex cards? And a similar question on Diners card. Now, here's what has happened, guys. There seems to be some sort of a guideline that basically RBI wanted all these credit card data to be hosted in India. It seems that American Express and Diners Club were working towards that, but they've not completed any efforts. And hence, the Reserve Bank has said that come May 1, they will not be able to issue new credit cards in India. So what will happen here in terms of Diners Club? Diners Club in India is only issued by HDFC Bank. Unfortunately, HDFC Bank is already undergoing a ban since December or January, where RBI has not allowed them to issue new credit cards. So Diners Club is only affected with respect to HDFC Bank. Okay, the ban was already there. It just came back in a second wave. In terms of American Express, if you don't have a plastic issued by American Express, existing customers have no hassles. Their credit cards go on, their credit lines go on, their charge cards go on. The only problem might be getting a new card, in which case we have to wait and see what American Express takes to Reserve Bank of India, gets permission to kind of, hopefully they'll get the permission to be able to do new business in India soon again. But it's anyone's guess how quickly or how late will that happen. So So that's about the ban on both the card companies at this point of time. Do credit card companies also waive off annual fees beyond some annual expenditure on card? This is a question by Manish. Different card companies do have different benchmarks. For instance, I think just one coming top of my head, Diners Club, if you spend 8 lakh rupees on your HDFC Diners Club Black Card, you will get a waiver on the next year. And there are other cards in the market. I think Infinia has some sort of a waiver as well. So it is best to check with your, call customer care, ask them how much have you already spent, and if there is the possibility of a waiver. And if there is one, they will be able to inform you about what's the exact waiver that they're able to get. I've been using Cities Rewards and Indian Oil card for shopping and fuel. Now that Citi is leaving India, what is the next best? My friend, I don't have an answer for you right away. We're still researching on that. And hopefully we'll be able to put out some answers in the coming days. So we just, at this point of time, as taken aback by Citi's exit from India as you are perhaps. Any other questions, Ankita?
No, I think in the interest of time, we've already run past the time. Thank you so much, Ajay.
Perfect then. Right, guys, stay safe and good chatting with you today, and hope to catch you another time.
Thank you. Thank you, Ajay. Thank you, everyone, for joining the session. I hope that this had some answers and insights towards using and optimizing your credit cards. Stay tuned. We will be bringing similar sessions every Saturday on different topics in the space of money, wealth, finance, investments,